Yes, people, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to Blue Diaries, episode 30. You know what I mean? After another W. Big up rants as well for the raid. I see there's 64 people waiting in here already. Some of these names I recognize, man, like ACFC, big yourself up. You got Nehemiah in here, Black Pulse, I see you all the time, my bro. Naj, as always, big yourself up, man. And like he says, make sure that you are hitting up the likes and make sure you're subscribing to the channel. But today we're joined by Couch. You got ads. Jem's going to be joining in a second as well. AJ will be on, and I think Jimmy should be on as well. He's had a bit of an emergency at home, but he might be on in a second. But what are you not saying first of all, boys? Man, you man good?
Yeah, man. 3 points. You know, we move, man. Smash up the likes, man.
100%, bro. What are you saying, ads?
Yeah, good, bro. I mean, what, 4 wins in a row at home? That looks very good on paper. So, I mean, it all feels good, but is it really good? We're gonna discuss it. That's what this format's for. So. We'll talk about it.
Bro. You know, so crazy about what's going on right now. Yeah, we've actually got the joint second best home record. Big up, Jem. We've got the best joint second best home record at the minute, something like that in the Premier with like 4 other teams. So we've actually been performing better at home, bruv. But listen, let's get straight into it, man, because I've been seeing a lot of mixed reviews about our performance the other day. I'm seeing a lot of people saying it was a poor performance. Some people saying that it was a shocking performance, probably one of the worst that we've seen this season. And for me, I don't really see it like that, man. I don't really see it like that. Like, I know offensively we could have done more in terms of creating better chances. I know there was times where we was getting in some decent positions to let off shots earlier. But when you watch other teams, bro, yeah, week in, week out, and you see teams like Arsenal, teams like Liverpool, they also have games like yesterday where you need to be clinical in front of goal. You need to show some sort of quality, especially when you're playing up against a low block, you know. And defensively, for me, I thought we were very good. I thought Fofana, he came back into the lineup. He was very good playing at our position. I know most of the game he was playing at right centre back technically, right? But I thought majority of the game he was good. Apart from that mad moment that Sanchez had, you know, this bozo, I thought his handling of the crossing was very good as well. You know, I thought we dealt with the crosses quite well as well. I thought Caicedo and Enzo were very good in the game. Palmer was average. I thought Sancho was good in attack. I think he could have had a better sort of end product in terms of his shooting. But other than that, I thought he was very good in the game. Kuku was poor on the left. And then Neto off the ball, brilliant. On the ball, decent. You know what I'm saying? So overall, again, I would have loved to have seen us create better chances. But if you look at our recent performances against Villa, we should have won that game. We had over 3 XG in that game, right? Against Southampton, we just battered these guys 4-0. And they literally just played Liverpool away at Anfield. And Liverpool in the first half was struggling to score against these men. You know what I'm saying? So these things happen, bro. For me, I don't look at it now and think, oh, this is how we're going to play the rest of the season. I'm looking more at the fact that games like yesterday, usually Chelsea won't win because they're just not clinical. You know, finally Cucurella stepped up and helped us get over the line, bruv. But Couch, what did you think of the game, man? What did you think of the performance? Do you think it was a poor performance or do you think it was more professional?
I mean, with the way we've been playing the last little while, it's really hard to really discern what is called a quality performance. I thought that we were struggling to utilize the space that was offered to us. I thought that when we got into the final third, we weren't really taking advantage of the spaces that were open. Because let's be real, man, this Leicester team, following off the back of that Southampton game, these guys are shit. Like, they're leaving all sorts of gaps for us to expose. And balls over the top coming in. You seen Kuku bring it down, should have just smashed. Like, there's opportunities to take take chances. And we just didn't get enough. We didn't get enough at the goal, you know. And when you have, you know, I'm waiting for Jimmy, but like when you have like a low percentage chance and that's the winner, you know, you can't really say that it's a great game. You know, like we haven't really created enough opportunities outside of that one low percentage chance to win it. So, yeah, I wouldn't say it was a bad game. I thought that, like, defensively looked pretty solid. Obviously, Fofana coming back and anchoring that back line, you know, showing us some real, you know, emphasis back there, like driving forward and just being really bossy. But even I don't think that his performance was I don't think that his performance was outdone, like or probably a better way of saying it is I don't think that he was the only one that had a good performance in that back line. I actually thought that Tosin was quite good as well. Colwell, I didn't really have much to do, but gave away the ball a little bit too much for me. And of course, Cucurella with the goal, my man of the match. Yeah, other than that, I would say there's lots that you can be said about Neto as that number 9, that false 9 thing. I think that he was very, very busy, like very, very busy, and forced them to go long a lot of the times, which basically just played right into our hands. Because every time they went long, you're going long to Jamie Vardy versus like Tosin. That's never going to work out well. And we basically managed those opportunities. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, absolutely. So overall, I thought that the application was quite good, and of course, many of you guys would have heard what Maresca said during the press conference. They set up for a different game than they actually saw in the first half, and it showed because we were moving the ball quite slow, and we're trying to change on the fly, and a lot of that just comes down to just trying to adjust your tactics on the fly. But I thought that we came out in the second half with more intent, a little bit more purpose, and we got the goal. So overall, not bad, but we still need to be better at utilizing space and scoring when opportunities present themselves.
Exactly, bro. And I'm glad that you said that, because that's something that people are missing, right? We're not saying that, yeah, we're happy with the win and that's it, keep it moving. We need to see improvements. We need to see better chances being created. How about you, Jem? What did you think of the game, man?
I don't know. We got it done, didn't it? We got it done. It was a weird game, really. It was a game of two tales again. Chelsea not starting well enough, which is becoming quite a normal thing at the moment. If you want my honest opinion, I don't see us playing too well. I mean, I think the first half we had chances there. Listen, Cole Palmer had the penalty and all that. I get it, but I just think in terms of our overall playing style, it's not been good for a while. I don't think we're actually playing that well in games. I think what we're doing at the moment is we're finding a way to make it work. Neto up front, giving us a bit of more allowing us to have a bit more of a focal point, bit of creativity, giving us something different up there as well. I thought he was very good in yesterday's game. He was a standout for me. And what I liked about him more than anything was not only on the ball, but off the ball. He worked so hard, man. I remember him running around chasing 4 or 5 players, trying to shut the ball down just to make, just to put him under pressure. And at the end of it, Tyreek George ended up intercepting and it went out for a throw in. And like little things like that are important. I think our midfield, again, I keep saying it there, they're fine. The problems with our midfield, Caicedo and Enzo are both doing their jobs. It would be nice to see, Lavia, now he's available, coming in and having the minutes and giving us a bit more protection to the defensive line. And with the defense, I was just, I thought they were okay. If I had to pick one of them who I thought had the worst game, it was Colwell, like out of the 3. But then even Colwell, to be fair to him, yeah, he was alert for when Tosin headed the ball onto the bar and it came back down, because they would have scored if he didn't win that header. So, other than that, the only problem I have with Colwell is just that he falls asleep. In moments. It's like every time we get a free kick, he just does the most weirdest thing sometimes. Like he'll just hoof the ball and we'll just lose possession completely again. And it's like, why have you chosen to do that? But in terms of the overall performance, I think Neto, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, and Cucurella are the reason why we've won our last 3 games. Exactly. That's it. I don't think they're all playing well. I just think there's specific individuals playing and leading and showing and getting us through these moments right now, and they're the ones stepping up. From what I'm saying,
that's refreshing to hear, though, Jem, because we've had Cole Palmer last season, who was our best player. Without that guy, we don't finish 6th, right? We could have even potentially even, forget my words out, got fucking relegated, bruv. Because I was looking around at that team, and who the hell was going to step up the way that he did? We had no Nkuku. Everyone was getting injured. He was our savior. But this time round, start of the season, if you remember, I was saying we're actually playing more as a team right now. Like Palmer's contributing, but we're not having to depend on him as much because there's other people that are turning up. And over this period as well, like what Jem's saying, Palmer's not been winning us games. It's been other people that have been winning us games, right? What have you thought about the likes of Cucurella, obviously Fofana coming back now as well? Like, are you seeing the same thing? Like, there's other people now stepping up?
Yeah, I think it's a bit more balanced in terms of the quality of players that we have that can contribute more compared to last season, where it felt like it was a bit Palmer, inshallah, for the most part, right? And again, touching on some of the performances, yeah, Fofana came in, looks very good again. Not his first good performance at right back this season, so that was obviously a good sign. Cucurella got the winning goal, took a risk from range, which we don't see enough of. But now that's won us 2 games in a row, Copenhagen and obviously this game too. So that's a good sign. Long may it continue. Man, I'm not happy though, really. I'm not really happy. Like, it's great to get the 3 points. That's cool. I spoke about it.
What are you not happy about, bro?
I'm not happy about the football we're playing, bro. The football we're playing is awful. Like, and even like the thought behind what we're trying to do, what we're trying to actually execute on the pitch is just not right. And it's like, okay, we build a lot of the system into getting the wingers into space to get the ball, but a lot of the time it's like we're going backwards. And again, if you look at our wide areas, our 2 wingers on the day were Nkunku and Sancho. Those guys, first and foremost, are going to get the ball, turn back and pass it backwards for the most part, right? Sancho did have a relatively bright game, but my issue with Sancho sometimes is when he has good games, they look like this. They're not laden with like big chances and big moments of quality in the end. In the final end product is like good little, you know, bits of a link up in here and there. He probably should have won 2 or 3 penalties, to be fair to him. So that would have been obviously a couple assists. But Palmer missed the penalty.
To be fair though, like with Sancho against a low block, some of the passes he plays are very smart. Because if you remember, pass that he played to Palmer that we should have had a penalty, that was from Sancho, right? He won us the penalty himself. There's a few times where he was running on the right, where for me he looks a lot more comfortable, and he was cutting it back to the likes of Palmer, right? So I thought he was quite nippy in the final third in the box.
And I agree. I feel like he did have a good game. My issue is just with how we're trying to play. It's about getting these wingers the ball, touchline, and then almost having to like do so much, or just go back and recycle the ball. And it's just very boring pedestrian football, and I don't enjoy that. And this can maybe work when your number 10 using the fulcrum of the team is in great form, but Palmer we know is not in. He's in very mid-ish form in terms of his football, and then the end product is just appalling right now. It's appalling. So I'm not happy at all, and it's mainly because I'm looking at our next fixtures coming up. I saw this period right that we just come through. I was like, okay, we need to get through this, or we're not going to make top 5 at all, because we need to be beating the likes of Leicester, Southampton, and all these guys. Right, cool, we've done that, but now we've got Arsenal away, Tottenham at home, Brentford away, Fulham away. And then soon after that, I think Ipswich maybe. But then after that, Liverpool and Everton. Like, those are serious games. So we're going to need to up our form. But again, playing this style of football that we're playing, about the players to make it work, is a really big concern, because I don't think we will get the points. Now, for me, where it could change is if Lavia comes back and is able to stay fit. If obviously Noni comes back and stays fit. If Jackson can come back and stay fit. But I don't know when Jackson's back, because that's the big one, right? If he's not back, it's going to have to still be Neto up front. And then the only winger with pace that we got that can actually be direct, that suits the system, is Noni. And he's obviously not going to be back for a little while. So I'm not happy. People that were... I like George, but it's Tyreek George at the end of the day. He's playing on the right wing for the most part, which is not even his best position. So I'm not trying to hype him up at all. So it's not good. Again, somebody that I do like, though, is Nkunku. And he was awful. And he was so awful and ineffective. And that left-hand side of him and Cucurella, Cucurella got the goal. That was great. But the left-hand side was so just get the ball passed back. Like, there was no incisiveness on that side of the pitch. And
you know what the funny thing is?
How is that going to work against better defensive? Because we played a team that lost 7 games in a row. Like, it's got to be better than that.
Hold on a second.
Go on, Couch.
I agree with what I just saying about like Nkunku's play and like how we're building up, and I just feel like there's absolutely no chemistry on the pitch with him and anybody else. He just feels like he's making runs and nobody's reading them. He's trying to come deep to collect. Nobody's making runs off the ball. Like, it's just, there's absolutely no chemistry. Absolutely none. Wherever you play Nkunku, you're just getting no connection with anybody on the pitch. Like, I can't think of anyone that he's linking up with well. Not one person. It has a lot to do with how we use them all season.
He's being played at our position, bro. He's not a left winger, right?
I felt
like he's more of like a 10 yesterday, but
he was more. Yeah.
I watched a video yesterday. After watching the game, I wanted to just watch Nkunku at Leipzig again, because I was trying to work it in my head if I'm missing something, because the player I saw over there is not what I'm seeing against Leicester. Even in that position, I know he's a 10, and we know we're used to seeing him play in that position, right? But I watched him in the videos, and my man's got energy. He's running around everywhere on the pitch, linking play, 1-2s, moving around, getting stuck in. When I watched him against Leicester, as much as I agree with Couch in games, because I don't think there's a very good chemistry with him in moments, I don't think he helps himself. Like, I'm watching him at the moment. He's not really busting a gut to try and shut the ball down or help the team when we press, or Like, just
but
do the
that's only one
basics.
side of the ball, though. I'm talking about in possession, though. I'm talking about when we're in possession of the football. What's happening? You know, like sure, he's not the most pressy like attacker that we have, without question. But I'm talking about when you're in possession and you have him in dangerous areas and he's doing things to come and collect the ball and nobody's running up. There's just no chemistry. Absolutely none.
And yesterday was actually the day that I seen him be the most frustrated when he didn't get the ball, because he's not one to like, oh my God, I'm here, give me the ball. But when he wasn't getting it, then you were seeing him actually be frustrated and reminisce with a few players at times. And again, you're right, Couch. There's no chemistry. For me, I would rather see him play in the 10 because at least there, like, there's options around him. For me, how we try to play with the wingers there wide and they haven't got an overlap all the time, they need to go and do something. They need to be proactive. And for me, the proactive player in this team is Cole Palmer, but we've got him in a 10 and it's not working. And that's why I'm on the manager, because, bro, top 5 is there to be got, because the amount of teams that are in this race that are looking meaty, including Arsenal, by the way, all the teams are looking meaty, but we're not doing our job. And for me, if you put Palmer on the right, you're getting Kunku in the 10, that's a solution that can actually give us something. You did the Neto up front thing, that's working a bit better, but for me, there's more that can be done with this team to get better results. Much
well,
better.
the one thing I noticed is that Nkunku arrived in the box a lot more when he was in the 10. There was only a short space of time, but there was one moment when he got put in the 10 and he was in the box straight away. He brought it down very well.
Yeah, that was a good ball from Casero that got him in behind.
But the one thing I noticed massively already was he's in the box more. And that's where I want him to be. You know, he's right. He's making them runs. He's crashing the box. Off the wings, he's like hovering around and not really attacking the box as much, or he arrives late, or I want him to be crashing the box all the time or being in the box, because that's when you're creating chances. He's the man you want it to land to. I still stick by that. He's the one you want it, you know, to be landing and taking them chances. So it's a bit of a weird one with Nkunku at the moment, boys. I don't know why.
Yeah. But the thing is, we've seen Nkunku play behind the striker, like where we want him to play. Like he literally played there against Brighton. Him and Palmer changed roles in that game, right? And he was shit, bro. You know, he's had opportunities to play in those positions to do something, and he wasn't good enough. And even yesterday, like what Jim's saying, just the intent, it was completely different in comparison to when we played Copenhagen last week. I thought when he came on last week, he actually wanted to play. Yeah. Yesterday, it's like man wanted to do some sunbathing after or something, because he was
good against Southampton as well, to be fair to him. So it's not like he's in like horrible form, but it's just the Leicester performance is just what we've seen a lot this season. And it's like, we're not getting the best out of him, but also he's not bringing his best to the table at all. And again, that's on him. But for me, Maresca, there's clear solutions you can bring to the table when you're not bringing it. But I'm frustrated by it. But again,
if you play Palmer, so if you're playing Nkunku in the 10 and you play Palmer on the right, what you're saying is play Sancho on the left. But then to me, that's just too much inverting, bro. You've got no width. If you're doing that, the whole pitch is going to be compressed. The whole pitch is going to be compressed. Exactly. This is what I'm saying.
I would still have Sancho on the left, and I feel like you give him the instruction to be a bit more direct at times. And then, of course, your boy Tariq George can come on and obviously have an effect on the left wing. You don't bring him on the right wing, which I don't like. For me, that's a waste of his talent.
I mean, we invert the wingers anyways.
If you play Palmer on the right,
but the wingers get inverted anyways. Like regardless, our preferred wingers are going to invert anyways. Because if nobody's on
but again, this is why I don't like this. This is why, like, again, this is my issue with a lot of modern managers, is they have their way that they want to play. And cool, I hear it. It's better to like have your one method and be like have no clear philosophy, right? That's cool. But it's clear that we could do with overlapping fullbacks. We have the best overlapping fullback in the league for me, and Reece James. Gusto was doing a great job of that last season. Cucurella showed that he could do that for Spain at the Euros, but we're not utilizing these guys in that way.
Cucurella is doing that.
Cucurella was overlapping, bro.
At times, but it's not to the way that it just, I don't know, for me, it's not working in terms of giving us like that full width and actually penetration on that side of the pitch. Because on that side of the pitch, it was like him and Nkunku, and that was it. Only a few times when Cole stepped into that side of the pitch, did they have like a third option. On the right-hand side, there was Enzo, there was Sancho, Palmer would drift there, Neto would drift there. There was just much more going on the right. The left side, there was just no traffic.
No, I hear it. But for me, like I said, if you was to play Palmer on the right now, you have to start George on the left. I don't want to see Sancho and Palmer on the wings, because it'll be the same thing as what we saw against Man City. Remember the first game of the season? We played Palmer and Nkunku on the wings, and it was shit. We had zero width, right? If you're going to do that, you have to overlap the fullbacks so Palmer can have someone he can just play off to and make that run, crash the box and whatnot, and Sancho can do the same on the other side. You know what I mean? So for me, I think we could definitely, there's a few tweaks that we can make here and there, but let's be real. This solution that he's found right now in trying to play Neto up top, it has helped us a little bit. It's helped us create better chances. You know, it's helped us actually win these games. Because if we carried on playing Nkunku up top, I'm telling you now, Southampton or Leicester, we don't win that game, bro. Or if we do, it's not at the scoreline that we do, because we just know that Nkunku don't work up top. You know what I mean? But big up Fats. Fats is in the chat as well. Let me just bring up his comment because he just said something here that I wanna touch up on because I'm seeing this from a lot of people at the minute. Yeah. Where is it? I saved it. So he says, Don, this wasn't dominance. It was just possession without purpose against one of the worst teams in the league. We should be putting them away comfortably, not relying on the left back's long shot. Right? What do you think about what Fats is saying here, Couch? Do you agree with him?
It's not too. I mean, he's saying what we've been saying. Really, it wasn't really a great overall performance, but we're not really playing good football. We haven't been for the longest time. We're getting bodies back in, bringing bodies up. Like, I don't know what people expect to see right now. Like a 4-5-0 when we have like Tariq George coming off the bench and stuff like that. Like, we're not a completed side yet, number one. And number two, we're just not playing good football right now. Okay. Like for me, it's more about the results than it is the actual execution right now. And we just got to get those 3 points, any way, shape, or form. We got to get it because it feels like now we're just starting to see, the health return to the side again, and we're starting to see a little bit more connectivity. I don't know, maybe not. You can probably make the argument both ways, but yeah, I just think that we have to just ride it out until these guys get back into their better, their prime mode and start playing some good football. But I don't think that that's going to happen by chopping and changing the way we play this, that, and the other. And to be honest with you, even with that said, I don't think anyone can argue that Maresca hasn't changed the tactics drastically over the last few years, or the last few months. Like, it's drastic from game to game. You don't know what's happening, and we played a diamond up front yesterday. I don't tell you I can't tell you the last time I saw that, So
we've done that a few times, but you are right. He has been changing things.
He's flexible.
For me, that's one of the main things, and it's annoying as well because I need to get my Wisecap back, people, right? So I can't even show the screenshots right now. But we were getting in good positions, like what Couch is saying. But the issue of this team, the likes of Neto, the likes of Sancho, the likes of even Palmer, when they get opportunities to just bang it, they take so long on the ball, right? When you look at Liverpool, watch Liverpool, people, and you'll see exactly why they're fucking going to win the league. Because Gakpo will get the ball, snapshot, bam, it's going in, right? Salah will get the ball, touch out of his feet, boom, he'll just smack it. That way, the keeper can't get his bearings together. The defenders can't come back to close down the ball. Whereas here, you see it, and I'm literally shouting at my TV, yo, shoot. All of a sudden, dilly-dally, it gets blocked. You know what I mean? So that's another thing that these players, because as much as we want to blame the system, right? These players get in some good positions time and time again to just pop off a shot, and they choose not to do it, right? And I saw it again yesterday. I saw it again from Sancho. There was even a point where Palmer was running with the ball. He could have slipped it to Neto, right? And he just kept running with it, and then he shot, and it just gets blocked. And I'm like, there was a pass that was on right there. So that's where I'm looking at the decision.
Let me just say that when I'm critical of Maresca, that's not me saying that his tactics don't ever work. Like, I think the system that he has right now is cold. Like, it can be super cold, and we saw it earlier in the season. And we were bopping teams. Even when we weren't always winning, we were bopping teams. It was different. My issue is just that he doesn't change it, because I can see right now with the personnel that we have right now and the form that a lot of these guys are in, it's not going to get any better. And that's why I was worried about these kind of games against low blocks. And I was thankful that we beat Copenhagen and got a decent lead going into the home leg.
You're thankful that we beat Copenhagen. Slow down, man. You're getting a little carried away.
I am, bro. I was worried. I thought we were going to win, but I was concerned that we could drop points or we could not win that game away from home, and it was going to have to all be on the home game. I said it before that game to you. I said it wasn't going to be easy, and people were then surprised that first half we did literally F4. You go onto the highlights on the official page. We did nothing in the first half. There's nothing there.
Yeah, we were in the chat together. What did I say? 2-0 after I saw the changes in the second half, right? Like, look at the lineup.
It was 2-1. And it was 2-1.
Look at the lineup we put up there against Copenhagen. Come on now.
We won, yeah.
But that's my point, though. Again, what I'm seeing on the pitch, in terms of... But that's my point. What I'm seeing with personnel, it isn't good enough to be better than what it is right now, which is why I'm not surprised. But obviously, where I'm concerned is, because I know Maresca's not going to overlap fullbacks or change too much different now, the performances are going to be pretty similar against better teams coming up. So that's why I'm concerned, because as much as I don't rate Arsenal, I don't rate Tottenham. Okay, Tottenham we normally beat because we just beat Tottenham, right? But Arsenal is a big game. And as much as they're meaty right now, we love to be meaty in big games. We don't ever turn it on and just... When's the last time we beat a big team, bro? When is the last time we beat a big team not named Tottenham, because I don't count it? It's been ages.
No, exactly.
Maybe the Palmer hat-trick against United, that was it. And that took us a last-minute goal against Eric Ten Hag's Man United. That's the only big game win we have in like 3 years, bro. That's horrific form. So something's got to change.
100%, bro. Before we touch up on the Arsenal game as well, because that's coming up. Big up Blaze. He says, you man are being super harsh. Leicester offered way more threat to other big teams than us yesterday. And you're complaining on the fluidity that we ain't got 4 big injuries. What do you think of that comment, Jem?
I think because I said the same thing earlier on, like we're not playing to the level that we were seeing, a couple of months ago because injuries, because we know that we lack in the final third area in terms of when we're creating, because again, like yesterday, we still created good chances. We just can't again execute, and executing earlier in games makes it easier, as we all know, and it's very important for us to do, but we have a tendency at the moment to find it hard to sort of get up and running from kickoff. It's becoming a bit of a problem for me because I want us to come out all firing and, up and down and working hard, but it takes us like a good 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes, half hour, sometimes a bit longer, just to really like get control of the game, get our ball, but get the ball going and moving. So no, I don't think anyone is moaning about it, really. I haven't said anything about moaning about the game yesterday. So I don't know.
Can I just say though, until Mavididi came on, there was nobody in Leicester's whole team that made me feel like, they're going to be a threat to us. Like we should handle them, and big teams should have all handled Leicester in terms of what they have.
We did, bro. We did.
I know we did. So I'm not. So I give them credit for that. But when he's saying that, but they gave other teams threat. Like who in their attack is that threatening anyways? Other than Mavididi, who only played 5 minutes. So
what was actually good?
He did what we were meant to do defensively.
If you guys noticed, he brought on an extra centre back in Josh. When they brought on Mavididi and Reed. Obviously, Reed is shit, and Mavididi scored against us when we played them in the FA Cup. If you guys remember, man chopped it. Gusto.
He cut Gusto.
Yeah, he cut Gusto that game as well. Yeah. So I thought that was actually good from Maresca because that's something that we should have done a lot more in more games this season where we've dropped points. Because there's been many games this season, bro. Yeah, like where we've been winning and then we end up losing or we end up drawing the game because we're not seeing out the game. I'm just seeing the same thing where Enzo's leaving Caicedo. We're not even dropping him back into the pivot. There's so many games where even Vega could have been brought off the bench. You just bring on an extra centre back. There's no shame in that. Like there's actually no shame in that, bro. Just use your bench and know when to use the defenders that you've got. You know what I mean?
You're speaking facts right now. That's exactly what I've been saying for the longest time. It's like we don't ever like when we're trying to see it on a match and we're trying to like defend a nervy 1-0. We need 2-1, whatever. He just continually plays the exact same tactic. Like, let's just try and hit them, like possession. When all you need to do is just shore it up at the back, and take away the threat with creating too many gaps. And like, I don't see him doing that enough. He did do that yesterday, to his credit. I felt like we made enough substitutions to, just get it over the line. And there's no shame in that. You're right. Like, just variate the tactics to secure the 3 points. It's that simple,
done the same against West Ham.
Especially when you're playing against you're playing and you don't have your your preferred team that understand how to like see how to match by just keeping the ball ticking over and whatnot. You're playing with a bunch of kids out there. Give them the tools to succeed. Simple. Play a little bit more defensively. Drop the line a little bit more. control the game from a deeper perspective. And we're not being played in over the top like we saw mercilessly against like Man City and all these. Like, just humble yourself in some certain moments of the game, just to show that you're more convinced on, or you're more dedicated to finding a way to find those 3 points than you are to like holding on to your philosophy. That's what I think everyone wants.
100%, bro. Especially with these guys, Cole and that, you can't depend on them to just sit back. And I was on Midday Live earlier. I was saying to these lot that I want to take it to Arsenal. And when I say take it to Arsenal, it doesn't mean that I want to just just go there and gun hole and keep attacking them. That's not what I'm saying. I want to go there and be brave, right? I want to go there and take opportunities to attack when we can. I want us to play like how we did against Liverpool, bro. Play our game, but off the ball, be very disciplined, right? Because if you guys remember, when we played Liverpool, bro, in that game, for me, I thought we were the better team. And if it wasn't for them sucker punching us straight after we scored, I honestly felt like I was going to win that game or even leave with a draw in that game. But they scored so quickly after we scored, that was what kind of just knocked guys back. Like when AJ got sparked by Ruiz and now he's all like, yo, you know what I mean? Yeah. It was similar to us. You know what I mean? We one-banged my man, but he one-banged us back. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I want us to go to Arsenal, off the ball. I want us to be in that mid-block. I want us to, if we're winning the game, to do exactly what we did yesterday in terms of bringing on an extra centre-back, right? But we need to make sure that we go there and actually make a statement.
But bro, you're speaking too much sense, bro. Us to go there in a low block, humble ourselves, and actually make it difficult, do what teams have been doing to Arsenal. I don't think we're gonna do that. I think we're gonna play our football, and it might be prettier at times. It's gonna be more effective at times, but until we've actually reached their box, are we gonna be clinical against Gabriel and Saliba? I don't think so, bro. But I would love to be proven wrong. But I've just seen it too many times this season, last season, the season before with most of these players. Come on, man. I don't feel like what you're saying, I want to see that implemented, but I just haven't seen it with this manager to want to do that.
I think there's
How should we set up?
I think there's a way that we have to play this game. It's the one game I think most of us Chelsea fans, me especially, really want to see us win. And not just that, I think we own one. When you think about how many games we played them and not beaten them and should have beaten them, let's be serious, in past games where they withdrew and stuff, and the wasteless moments that we've had, it's going to need a couple of things. And there's some problems that I have in this, because it's going to need a couple of things. And I agree with that. We're asking for not a perfect performance, but we're asking for certain things to tick. And yes, it can happen. Don't get me wrong. But starting with the individuals that I spoke about that have performed for the last 3 games, guess what? They're going to have to perform to at least 8, 9, 10, at least performance against Arsenal in terms of their own performances. I need my wingers to be, direct in the box. I need them to attack. Also, what the thing that I think we need to be, I agree. I don't think we're going to play low block. I don't think we're going to sit back and just allow them to play it. I don't really think they have much of a threat on the attack. I know Martinelli's back and he may play, but in terms of how we play, I think it's going to be very of the case of what we've seen already, which is press, try and win the ball high, and man mark them across the pitch. But we have to be brave. And when I say brave, I want to see players crash in the box. I want us to see us when we're on the attack. I want to see us getting in there, a bit like the Tottenham game away, where every time we there was a bit of impotence and we got the ball and we moved it quickly forward. There was a break, and we was on the break. We were crashing the boxes early and we were outnumbering them in that area. But we've got to be brave, because the one thing you're not going to do physically is outbully Saliba and Gabriel. So we've got to forget that. So it's how do we affect them, and what do we do that we need to do to impose on them to make it a problem? And I think Neto could be the answer to that, because his false nine ability that we've seen of being able to drag players out of position and create spaces is important. But then it needs others around them to attack that space. And like I said, and have the numbers to move forward. We're going to get chances against Arsenal. It's going to happen. We always do play. We play predominantly against the big 6. We've actually played well. Like I don't sit there and go, actually, we played shit. We deserve that. No. We played well. We get let down later in the game for individual moments again. And whether it's Sanchez or whether it's Chalobah or whether it's someone ends up doing something that ends up doing us. So be brave, attack the box, crash the box, take the chances that we create. Yeah. And when it comes to just having that mentality to just maybe see a game out later if we are winning, Maresca make the right substitutions, like Couch said. Make us stern, especially against Arsenal, and see it through. No bozo moments, because if we have any of that again, forget it. It's just going to be the same thing. We're going to be sitting saying the same shit. That's my
bro. And these are the sort of comments here, because I don't know where you heard me overhyping this team or doing any of that, bro, because I'm saying that this is what we need to do to go win the game, right? This is mentality that I'm talking about, bro. Yeah, I've grown up, bro. Growing up, I used to watch Chelsea beating Arsenal. It was a formality. Home and away, we used to beat these guys. We used to bully these guys, bro. So I know what it takes to beat Arsenal. Yeah, I watch these guys week in, week out, and they are not a scary team. Yeah, they might be second right now. They might have competed the past 2 seasons or whatever, but especially this season, they have regressed. Me and Couch were going back start of the season. I was speaking to Couch about Arsenal. I said, bro, Arsenal are an overrated team. When you watch their games, I promise you, most of the time, you'll fall asleep. I know now Chelsea aren't playing the best football, yeah, but we're more than capable of beating them. The issue that we've got in this team is our mentality has been all over the place when it comes to the bigger games. And tactically, I think Maresca, for example, against Man City, he was shocking. He needs to make sure that he's 8 out of 10 minimum. The players need to make sure they're 8 out of 10 minimum. Yeah, we can't just be sitting around now and saying, we've got no chance against Arsenal. Fuck that, bro. You got to get that monkey off your back at some point. You know what I mean? AJ, what do you think, man? How do you think we should set up against Arsenal, bro?
What up the ads, man? Bounce?
He dipped, innit? If he had to leave.
Right.
That's cool, yeah? Oh.
I mean, I think we need to approach it in a way where we not exposing too much space in the middle of the field, because to me, one of our problems is we end up having this space in the middle of the field. And I think somehow, some way, maybe Caicedo and Reece in the midfield, maybe with Enzo as a third midfielder or something like that. I think we need to start with solidifying the midfield. And then from around, maybe we play, on the counter attack, or maybe something. I think I heard somebody mentioning that, maybe we need to like change up the approach. We don't need to always be on the front foot, but at the same time, Arsenal is not a team that's, like you say, Don, they're not in their top form. They're not playing their best football. So is it a chance for us to go at Arsenal? But do we have the players that can sustain a consistent attack against Arsenal? We don't have our main striker. We don't have our direct players like Noni. A lot of the fan base disregard Noni, but, it's clear what he brings on that wing, that directness, and that causes a problem. So do we have that play style in our team with that player out? No. So to me, I think we need to take a balanced approach, and we need to get through that first hour of the game, unscathed, no goal, creating decent chances, having territory, being in control. Are we the away team? I'm assuming. I think we're
away, bro.
Exactly.
We need Palmer redemption, bro. That's what we need. This is the game where we need Palmer to wake up, man. This is it.
Exactly. There you go.
Get all that shit out of your system, literally, bro.
Yeah.
Get it all out, that diarrhea out of your system.
Yo, why Maresca saying all of that, bro? He talking too much. I told y'all he be talking too much, man. He talk too fucking much, bro.
Too much poo.
For real, man. For real.
He didn't like that. He didn't like that. He told everyone he had diarrhea.
We don't need to know that.
That's too much details there, man.
Yeah.
Keep that quiet. The man was a little sick. That's all.
Man was running around with the shits on the pitch, man. What the hell? What's going on?
But differently though. I just think that if we're thinking about going toe to toe with them, I mean, they're not. You're right. They're not the greatest team right now. Like I'd be struggling to find a team that is right now. Liverpool seem to be just finding the magic every week, but I don't think that we've shown the way we play in the last little while. I don't think that we've shown the attacking intent that we can say that we're just going to go toe to toe with teams.
Facts.
So I think that AJ is bang on when we say we have to have a balanced approach to this game and be cognizant of what other teams can do, and the spaces that we leave when we do go gung ho. How do we compensate for those spaces, right? So yeah, I mean, it's funny too because like
you want football.
Say again,
you're saying you want counter football then? You want us to just kind of?
No, I'm saying a more balanced approach. Like I think we have to we're just gonna have to approach the game the way we have been in the last little while. A little bit more of a slow, methodical build up, and then hope that we can just pierce them in the final third. Because if we start playing that gung ho up and down thing, I don't think that we're going to be successful. Nah. We just don't have the cohesion in the squad to deal with it, right? Mm-hmm. So. But with that said, that doesn't mean that you fall back in your shell and you're playing like with 11 men around the ball. That still leaves you with like spaces to exploit. That still leaves you with gaps of space that you have to defend, extremely well. And it's funny because I was talking to I can't remember who I was talking to about this, but like when we watched Fofana yesterday play, the man was playing at a different tempo. Like he was up and down the pitch, like you saw him like that. And then when he goes into those areas, nobody's going there because everyone has been playing this like slow, methodical football for so long. And, it felt like Fofana was getting back to what we were playing at the beginning of the year. He was trying to push the tempo and nobody was going with him, right? So that's how much the level has dropped off from when Fofana was in the side to when he hasn't been in the side, right? And I think that we have to get back to getting the pace up, getting the tempo up again. But I don't know if this is the game for it right now. It's just not the game for it.
I mean, when you look at the individual battles in it, like I think the main thing that used to concern me about Arsenal before, obviously I'm not saying that I'm just going to ignore it now, is the fact that they score a lot of set pieces. Recently they haven't been scoring set pieces. I think it's the last one they scored was back in December or something along the lines of that. We've literally
don't jinx it.
I'm not jinxing it. I'm stating the facts, right? So obviously with Chelsea, the only goal, if you actually look at how we defend corners these days in comparison to last season, but we've only conceded one goal in the Prem from a corner, and that was against Wolves when fucking Sanchez threw it into the net. We haven't conceded another goal from a corner in the Prem this season, right? So for me, we need to make sure that we're limiting the amount of corners that we give them, because that's their biggest strength right now. In attack, they've got Ethan Nwaneri. I trust Cucurella to be able to deal with him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Up top, they're playing Marino, who has not been good up there, right? Obviously, Trossard's there. They might change it because Martinelli's back now, where they play Trossard up top and they play Martinelli on the left. They might try to do something like that, right? But what I'm saying is one of the biggest things that they've got at the minute, we are finding ways to deal with it, bro. We're defending quite well in the box. So we can't go there with fear, you know, and at the same time, don't give these guys corners, bro. Don't let them have that little moment where Gabriel just scores one. All of a sudden, now the crowd go up for it. You know what I mean? So
no, you're not wrong, to be fair. You're not wrong, because I was even looking at the stats earlier that I think we have the same amount of set-piece goals as them, which is crazy to me. Yeah, so that's crazy to me. They haven't scored in a while. I was actually even thinking, like, wait, when's the last time he's not scored from a set-piece? Like, it's been a minute, so it's quite strange to me. But yeah, no, you're not wrong. Again, I've been saying it for a while that their attack is meaty. The midfield, even though their midfield is fully fit, it's been meaty. I mean, Odegaard, oh my goodness, him lately. Again, it's not, and it's been awful. And again, none of us are jinxing. Obviously, I was joking earlier, but none of us are jinxing them by just saying the truth. They've been poor. And if you look at their attack again, for me, honestly, if they're going to start anybody at striker, they might as well just start Calafiori at striker, bro, because he actually looks like he can do a bit more than Marino up there. And,
true.
And obviously, in Martinelli, again, who was supposedly a striker in Brazilian League 2, like, bro, man missed from 6 yards out in the 88th minute. I mean, maybe it was offside, maybe, but still, like, come on, how do you miss that? So again, this is why it's annoying me that I feel like we're just going to go there and at best we'll get a draw, because that's what we've been doing. But at the same time, given what we've been doing, or what we should be able to do when we were on our form, and Couch is right, when we were actually playing with more intent, more intensity, more pace, more rhythm to our attacks, we can absolutely go to the Emirates and get a couple goals. No one actually probably can concede a couple goals knowing how we defend. But again, they're not looking like a great attacking team, which is why we should go there with confidence. But it's hard to go there in confidence given how we've been playing, given the players that are out, and given that our talisman, Cole Palmer, hasn't been looking good lately. We have to be real. His form has not been looking good. The mentality I'm not liking either. I think a big part of that is on the manager. Again, I spoke about this months ago. Remember when at Palace, I was talking about how I don't like how all the emphasis is on this guy. He's getting all these magazine shoots. He's doing interviews and stuff with all the rappers. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Like, by all means, chill with Central C and all this thing. That's cool. But understand that it's a different type of pressure that's on you when you're the focal point of the team. You're now the pitch, like you're the established guy of Chelsea Football Club, a massive club, the biggest club in London, one of the biggest clubs in the world. You're that guy. You're the focal point of the whole club. And it's almost like everybody wants to put all this pressure on him, but let's talk about everybody else. Let's not all just focus on Paul Palmer and, he gets stats. Let's make the only chant about him, Palmer scores again, ole. What the hell is that, bro? Share about other stuff, not just him getting goals, because now it's all about Paul Palmer must get goals and assists, or he's playing like shit. And now it's like he's focusing so much on getting goals that he's missing easy passes to teammates. In Nkunku, as bad as he's been at times, there's been times when Nkunku could have been put through by Palmer, and Palmer's looking for himself. Even the last game, Enzo was through. Palmer ran by himself.
No, 5 times.
Many times, bro. Many times. That's why when people just blame Maresca, just blame Maresca, I'm like, bro, like, Maresca's not telling Palmer to not pass to people. He's not telling him this, right? He might not be setting the team up to the best of what you want to see right now. But I'm sorry, there's been so many times this season where I'm seeing Palmer, because even early on, I was talking about his decision making. Big up Naj. You just said it here. I said it early doors of the season. I said, there's been certain decisions that Palmer's been making where it's like alien to Palmer. Because usually I'm like, remember I told you, look, I said for his age, his decision making is fantastic. This season, his decision making has been poor. Right?
Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with. You know what I think it is, though.
Hold on, Coach. Remember when we played Arsenal, and Jackson ran through on goal, and all Palmer had to do was just slip him through the through ball, and then he just did he go backwards or he went like sideways? I can't even remember what he did. Like his decision making is not been good, man. It's not been good. Go on, Couch.
No. I was just gonna say that, like, I think a lot of it just has to do is he's just lost confidence. And when you lose confidence like that, you're just clutching at opportunities. Any opportunity you get, you just want to find your form again, right? And it feels like he's got the tunnel vision right now because the game's not flowing as he'd like it to be. So where everything's coming to him and he's feeling good about his football, he's seeing the game differently. But when you have the pressure, the weight of the world on your shoulders, Chelsea Football Club, being the talismanic figure, getting into those areas, you're just thinking about just taking the opportunity and finding your form again. And it's led to more, it's led to his detriment, really, because like all of that uncertainty and all of that, like, the the lack of decision making in the final third is just lowering his confidence lower, right? Because he's just unable to like just come to grips with the fact that like sometimes it's better to just lay it off and then get it back again, or just lay it off and let what happens. Like sometimes you see him on the ball, he's taking like 6, 7, 8, 9 touches. He's getting in front of people so he can get on the ball. I'm just like, guy, relax, man. Just relax. You don't need to be all over the place like that, man. Just let people touch the ball. You know, it'll come to you when you need to be there, especially when you're out of form, you know? So yeah, I think it's really just a confidence thing. And hopefully, you know,
too, bro, it's fatigue too. I said it on the stream a couple of weeks ago. I was told it's not fatigue. He's there and doing the same shit. I'm telling you guys, this guy has played every single game. He's depended on like Chels every single game. There's nobody who comes on the field for him. There's no replacement in the team for him. There's no start who can come in and run a start over him for a couple games. He plays every single game. And what goes down when you are fatigued? Your decision making, the mental side of your game goes down when you're fatigued.
That's what I'm trying to say, AJ. I think it's actually more mental fatigue than it is physical fatigue. Because like I've been saying, the pressure of the whole club is on him, and he's feeling like, oh, I have to be that guy. And you don't have to be that guy at 22 years of age in your second full season. You don't need to be that guy. But Maresca wants him to be that guy. A lot of the other players aren't taking the responsibility. Sanchez isn't taking that responsibility, and Kunku can't get that responsibility. Like, so it's like it's all on him. And we're seeing a 22-year-old kid go for a better bad form.
That's where Maresca. Go on.
That's also why I'm going to make you laugh now. Enzo Fernandez has become even more important in the last couple of games.
Here we go. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to Chelsea.
You could have got one stream about Enzo, Lee. You could have got one. 46 minutes. Fair enough.
Let me just have my say, because at the end of the day, Cole Palmer is one of our most creative players in the team in terms of decision making. And the last 3 games, the individual that's created the most chances for our team is Enzo Fernandez. 5+ chances in Bournemouth, Southampton, and Leicester. 3 games in a row, he's created 5+ more chances in the team. That means he's, I wouldn't say taking it over in terms of Cole Palmer, because I think him and Cole Palmer have always kind of done it together, which has always helped, because that creativity comes from them two. Imagine if we just had Cole Palmer out of form and Enzo Fernandez wasn't even in this team. We would have a massive issue with creativity, because our wingers don't create enough. So where's the creativity coming from?
Well, we saw it already. Jim, we saw it already. When Enzo got dropped at the start of the season, right? We wasn't creating much when we played Lavia, Caicedo, and Palmer. We were struggling, and then Enzo had to come off the bench. I remember he got an assist for Neto's goal that he scored against Arsenal. Then he found his way back into the 11, right? Because the start of the season, Enzo wasn't
kind of that as an assist.
Say that again.
Counting that sideways pass as an assist. But I hear you. I hear you. What you're saying is right.
He was progressing the ball. He was progressing the ball. That's what he does. You know,
Jim's point is right. Like Enzo's creativity. Listen, Enzo's turn up in form the last few months has been much needed and very much welcome, especially after the nonsense in the summer that he did, the bus incidents and all that. We don't need to even revisit that. But there was a lot of pressure on this guy.
In the first half of the season, and the nonsense in the first half of the season, he just was not very good. Let's not ignore
that. There was some not so good games. Actually, no, you're right. Especially defensively, it was poor. And I looked at his physicality, and his physical. That's the biggest thing. The physicality is just way different. Like, even at the start of this Leicester game, I'm seeing him just jumping in for aerial duels and 50-50s, and he's winning a lot more now. Like even his dual winning rate has gone up a lot more in the last few months. So that's credit to him. Credit to that personal trainer he's been getting to help him with the PT work. So that's great. But obviously, it's not just on him. I think we need to shout out Caicedo, because, again, for me, he was my man of the match yesterday. Cucurella was great, but Caicedo, again, we're just used to him performing at such a top level. Even some of his long passing was great, but the ball winning that this guy does, knowing that any mistake, and he's out for 2 games right now because he's got 9 yellow cards. And again, this performance, again, was just understated.
It was unbelievable. For him,
you know what it is? Like, this is the first time for me in a long time that I've seen Caicedo play a composed game where he doesn't have to be overly aggressive, because that's really what the problem is half the time. He's just overly aggressive and just rushes in on challenges he can't win. So he had to play a composed game and be just as effective as he is when he's more aggressive. And I thought that he executed that tremendously the other day. Like, he was incredible. You know, but that's what I want to see. I want to see that kind of, and again, like, he wasn't really diving in on tackles or anything like that for risk of missing any time.
11 duels is crazy.
He needs to be like that, more composed like that more often than that. That's the Caicedo that's going to win us titles, man.
Yeah.
That's the
There was even one point. I don't know if you guys saw. Yeah, there was like a Leicester player was about to run through, and he knew if he dived in there, he would have got booked.
Yeah.
So he kind of just went back a little bit, and then he chased him. You know what I mean? He jockeyed him a little bit. That's what he's got to do, bro. He's gonna learn these things because people need to remember, like Caicedo and even Enzo, they haven't been professionals for long. Like they're experienced players now in the Premier, and cool, but they actually haven't been professionals for long, bro. Caicedo was at Brighton for how long? A season and a half. He was playing in Ecuador before that. Enzo wasn't even playing for Benfica that long before.
Especially when he was 20.
Yeah,
literally.
You know what I mean? 11 duels won, bro. He won the ball back, most possession won 8 times, most tackles, most fouls won. And the way he clips the ball, that's one thing I said about the first half. As much as we were drossed in the first half, the passes I was seeing Caicedo just clipping into the final third are just unreal, bro. It's the way he just does it, right? With like, it's so effective, bro. And the way of pass is always, most of the time it's spot on. You know what I mean? He's got very good passing range, bro. Very, very good passing range.
It was a stat though with them three. Caicedo, Palmer, and Enzo are in the top 3 for long ball conversion.
I see that. Let me even get that up, But I honestly can't wait for Caicedo for Lavia, to be fit, so we can actually play Caicedo as a box to box. Because from day one, I was telling Monts on Never a Foul and that I said, bro, Caicedo is a box to box midfielder. He can play as a 100%. DM, but he's more of an 8. That's what I see him as. You know, he can 100%. Create. He could definitely shoot. You know what I'm saying? So, like Jem's saying here, best long pass completion rates among outfield players in the Prem. 100 plus attempted, bro. All Chelsea players. Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo. So we've got to go to the Emirates because last season we lost that midfield battle. You had Enzo Fernandez that was dying on one leg. Yeah, I was at that fucking game, right? Make sure that we win it this time around, bro.
There was no point of Enzo in that game, I remember. But no, I agree. This game round, that one of the biggest things with the Arsenal game for me is going to be the midfield battle. We have to dominate that midfield. It's going to be Partey, it's going to be Rice, and it's going to be Odegaard. Yeah, and we need Caicedo, Enzo, and potentially Lavia if we play all 3 to be on their games. Because let's be serious, on paper, if they turn up and play their game, I think we've still got a better midfield than them. We do. 100%. No? Like if they all start playing the way did Caicedo went off the ball, Lavia just sitting press resistant, playing quick balls as he does deep, and then Enzo receiving the balls and just playing long and getting in the boxes. It's perfect, man. Like we just need to make sure we dominate that midfield, because if we win that midfield battle, I do think it's going to go a long way to us even winning this game against Arsenal next week. I really do.
Brother, listen, Dumbledore, big yourself up. It says Partey is my main problem. If these young kids can't make that uncle tired, and run about all tired on the pitch, then it's a problem. This is not Partey from 2 seasons ago, bro. This guy's about to go and leave the country, and you're here talking about Partey is the main problem. If anything, it's Declan Rice off the ball, bro. You know what I mean? That's the main problem there. But we should be winning that midfield battle, man. Honestly. How would you guys set up that midfield as well, by the way? Ads, how would you set up, bro? Like,
depends on Lavia's fitness, honestly. Lavia's fully fit.
He's not going to be fit. He's not going to be fit enough to play the minutes.
Yeah. Was he not on the bench yesterday?
He was on the bench, but he hasn't played minutes.
I bet he'll play starting.
I think he'll play on Thursday.
I think he'll play on Thursday. But he's not going to. If he plays on Thursday, I don't think they're going to go Thursday, Sunday with him.
Yeah, it will drop Enzo or Caicedo.
I mean, it just depends who we start on the wing. Because maybe if we start like a left winger who can hold the flank, then you invert Cucurella so you have a bit more of a midfield presence in there, and then you obviously still have Enzo and Caicedo in there. Because I feel like they can do a job in there as long as you have the right support around them. You have a natural left winger on the left, and then Cucurella inverts a little bit just to give them that extra bit of presence in there. They can do a job. Again, the midfield battle doesn't concern me that much. It's just both boxes which concern me, especially because Couch's guy is in goal again. We got Sanchez in goal again without the haircut, doing up bozo things again, missing crosses, tossing here onto the post. It's some madness, bro. So I ain't trying to see none of that against Arsenal, bro. Don't gift them any more goals because Sanchez has done that enough already against Arsenal.
I gave it a think though, just on this topic here, and see if you follow this logic here. Chelsea's only really playing for the Conference League this year, as far as like major honors, right? All season long, they've been giving those games to Jorgensen. Now, when you get to the business end, when you want to win, you're going to give it to Sanchez. I think that they just switched that because they realized that that's just not the right logic to do here. Like, they gave it back to Jorgensen to win the trophy since he's been doing the legwork on getting us here at this point anyways. Like, when you look at the league form, when you look at Jorgensen or you look at Sanchez, it's the same thing. You're not getting any difference. Let's just be real here. So I think that they've actually thought about it and said, I'm going to reward Jorgensen. He's going to start on Thursday, and I think he's going to carry on throughout the competition.
He deserves more of an opportunity.
He's getting his opportunity, though. He's getting his opportunity in the conference.
He had 2-3 games. He should have been given yesterday's game and the conference.
Yes. And in those two, first of all, for me, he didn't win the job. Sanchez lost the job because he was so poor. Then Jorgensen came in and didn't win the job. He was just as poor, if you ask me.
He wasn't poor against Southampton.
He was
poor against Villa. The game.
He played 2 games.
He conceded the goal at the end, which was the problem.
He played 3 games and he's poor in 2 of them.
Sanchez has done double.
If you're going to sit here and swear for Jorgensen right now,
no, it's not the point. My point.
Okay, so don't swear for him then.
My point is, I don't want any of them in goal. Couch. I don't want any of them in my goal. But my point is this: we've seen enough of Sanchez for God knows how many seasons now to know that this guy will not shake off that bozo gene, and he's just a liability, especially in any big games. The last big game we had was Man City. Look what my man did, right? What's the problem with just giving Jorgensen the opportunity to just have a little bit of run of form of a couple of games, not 2-3? Again, we're talking about giving him an opportunity to have a couple of games to see how he gets on.
I don't think it's just down to not giving him the opportunity. I think it's about him seeing out the games that he has won for himself. Winning the conference league or however you want to see it.
I don't think
that is going to be an achievement. That is an achievement.
I think the Premier League is on the bench.
You don't want to be sitting on the bench. You don't want to be sitting on the bench when Sanchez is hoisting the trophy when you did all the legwork for that. I feel that that's what's going on. You know, I feel like that's what's going on.
They know that's your boy. Hey, that's a dark road. That's a dark road.
You should have seen him in the chat. He was cheering every little corner he was catching and everything.
You know, so funny in the group chat. You know, so funny. What made me laugh? Yeah. When Sanchez tried to do Superman, everyone started rushing Couch in the group.
Everyone added Couch. This is your man.
Yeah, man. So I had to come back every time he made a claim. Every time he just the ball just dribbled up from him. Like, yes, Sanchez, baby, let's go.
He claimed the ball. One thing about him, he does claim the ball quite well. That's one thing I'll give him.
His distribution
in terms of crosses, he sweeps up quite well, innit? The problem that I've got with him, I've always said Sanchez has the tools to be a good keeper, a very good keeper, but it's his he'll just never get rid of that bozo. Maybe the head.
The biggest tool is what? The mental
decision making.
Yeah, AJ.
The thing for me, if you play Football Manager, you have the goalie's setting is eccentricity. They have that line for eccentricity, right? That dude is set to 20. That guy his eccentricity is set to 20. Like, it's just way over the top. If you could bring that down to maybe a 12 or something like that, you probably have a decent goalkeeper. But you just can't. You can't account for this guy's wildness in net. It's crazy.
AJ, what do you think about this? What do you think about this goalkeeping situation, bro? Were you happy that Jorgensen got dropped?
I'm not happy that Jorgensen got. I'm not going to say that I'm the biggest supporter of Jorgensen or Sanchez. Sanchez has pissed me off more because we've seen him more. You understand?
Exactly.
But on principle and if I'm on the team, I'm like, yo, this guy done dropped 4, 5, 6 stinkers in a row, and he gets one chance to play. Jorgensen gets one chance. He makes a mistake. Granted, he should not have made that mistake. That was a terrible mistake, especially if you're trying to win a position. So that was a crucial mistake by Jorgensen. We have to acknowledge that. But I don't think Maresca is being fair. You understand? But again, is it a situation where he needs to be fair? Maybe he's just like, yo, Sanchez is just better, and that's just what it is. Maybe Sanchez has more experience in the league, because that mistake that Jorgensen made, I think it was worse. It was probably worse than Sanchez's mistakes, because If
No.
Bro, if Sanchez catches the ball,
Jorgensen's one was bad. Hold on. I'm not even.
He normally catches the ball. Sanchez just loses the ball.
Somebody smell like shit. AJ, that comment there.
Preach,
Somebody
AJ.
Preach it, bro. It was poor. He had it in his chest.
I'm not even gonna.
Watching the game.
I'm sorry, bro.
Literally watched the game.
Bro,
you forgot what Sanchez
on the goal line. Oh, come on, bro. You had
listen, Jorgensen's mistake was bad, yeah. But we've seen Sanchez make some bad ones. I'm not even defending Jorgensen's one, bro. Look what man did against Wolves, bro. It was a similar.
I'm just saying.
Luckily, we won that
Just
game.
think about the sample size, though. The sample size that you give it, like Jorgensen, like you're giving his sample size.
That's what
the mistakes that he's made in that small sample size.
But Couch, the thing is,
like it's scary.
Sanchez,
he got to catch that, bro.
Sanchez has a rap sheet. Sanchez has a rap sheet of errors even before he joined Chelsea, bro. That's the point here. At Forest Green, I'm seeing compilations, of man just letting the ball roll under his foot. Jorgensen, there isn't a rap sheet of him making error after error after error when it comes to these goalkeeping things. I don't know what happened the other day against Villa, bro. Like I thought he had a decent game, and then all of a sudden he throws it away. You know what I mean? So I'm with these guys, innit? I don't like chopping and changing goalkeepers. Right. I think Jorgensen should have had more games to show what he can do, build confidence, and then you go from there. But, chopping him again, now it's going to start from scratch again. It don't make sense. And honestly, I don't know what we're going to do in the summer. I don't know who we're going to sell.
Yeah, goalie.
Sanchez, boy, Jorgensen can get sold too, honestly, but you just buy a 30 number one. That's what should happen last summer. Buy a 30 number one. The number two, whoever that is, it can't be Sanchez. Sanchez needs to dip. But whoever the number two is, that's a number two. But buy a 30 number one.
Give me 30 number one. Give me Penders as number two. I'm good.
Yeah, Penders. I want him to stay. I want him to stay in the team.
Bro, why are we disregarding Petrovic? Petrovic is
I don't know why they're disregarding Petrovic.
I think he's getting sold.
Petrovic is a good goalkeeper. I'm not saying
Petrovic is good profit. That's what Petrovic is. He's good profit right there.
He's our best shot stopper of goalkeepers in that.
That's a good number two goalkeeper.
AJ, he's good. You think he can start?
Hold up. You could flick your hand, but what you talk about Penders? Like what the fuck you talk? Who the fuck is Penders?
Penders is the next
talk about Penders.
Let's talking about Penders.
Now Penders is
you know what it is though, AJ? He's testing well, man. Give him a chance, man. Give him a chance.
I'm not even speaking about Petrovic much here because I honestly think
who the fuck Penders even is, bro.
No, I think they're gonna flip. I think they're going to flip Petrovic. That's why I haven't really spoken much about him.
Petrovic didn't get in the team because he couldn't play out with his feet. If he could play out with his feet, he would be in that goal. I'm telling you now. He would be in that goal. He wasn't bad. His all-round game wasn't bad, really. I felt relaxed when he was in goal sometimes. He used to make just comfortable saves. The hard ones look comfortable and stuff, like he's doing well at Strasbourg.
Towards the end of the season, he started to move crazy, blood. He started to move crazy. Yeah, remember that goal that we conceded against Burnley outside the box? Like I can even remember against Sheffield. Yeah, he was moving a bit crazy at
you know the funny thing is we keep on.
Sorry, man, I got a dip. But love it.
Go on, Couch.
I just feel like we spend so much time talking about mid and like comparing mid to mid. I mean, like, this mid's better than this. Like, I don't care. Like, honestly. I don't care about Sanchez. I don't care about Jorgensen. I don't care about Petrovic.
No, we don't. None of us do.
Find me keepers. I don't like having these conversations like, oh yeah, this guy's better. They're all shit to me. All of them. I've been saying that from time. Just get me a number one, and then we start talking for real.
Is there a name out there that you would want right now? Like you would just put in and be comfortable?
I told you already.
Honestly,
the market's not.
I'm not really on the goal.
That's what I did. Bring me back. I'm hearing there's a free agent now as well, bruv. Yeah,
I'm hearing Martinez and stuff from people, from Villa and stuff. Like
he's the one, bro. He reminds me of Martinez, but he's better on the ball, bruv. Much better on the ball. But yeah, I'm seeing he's a free agent now from Las Palmas. I don't know what's happened there. We've got a super chat here before we finish up, people, because I actually want to watch this West Ham Newcastle game. Let me bring it up. It's from Blaze again. Big up Blaze, man, for the donation, bro. It says, "Have you seen Arsenal's record against big teams though? No losses in like 20 straight. Yeah. Sorry, but we're definitely not winning. I'm betting on Arsenal to jinx it." Bro, I feel like that's how I feel. I just feel like Arsenal are just a bogey team, innit? They're just so booky. They're shit, but it's just, I don't know, man. They are good against the big teams.
Recently, they know how to like they have that kind of not lose gene, you know, which is very important to be successful. Similar to Liverpool, but not on that level.
That's because they have some sort of structure. That's why.
It's their defense, man. It's their defense. Their defense keeps them in there. So we've got to make them fucking work. But listen, people, love for obviously you lot tuning in. And we've still got 134 people in the house on a day where there's a lot of people streaming, man. Monday is congestion. You know what I'm saying? So for us to be getting these numbers consistently, bro, it's good, man. It's good. You know, you lot are fucking with the show, which is good to see, man. But big up Couch, big up AJ, big up Jem, big up ads as well every single time. Jimmy had a little bit of a situation. I think he had like a flood in his house, so he had to sort that out. He did say he was going to try and come, but yeah, he had to sort that out. So people, he'll be back next week. But yeah, look out for more content this week, man. I'm gonna have Dan Potts on 2v2. I'm not sure what Chelsea fan I'll get on. Maybe Chez. I have asked Lewis, so we'll see if he's free. That'll be out on a Friday. And I'm gonna try to do something separate with Goonie as well this week. I've been planning to do something, but our schedules keep clashing, man. So you look out for that one. But as always, love, man. Up the Chels, and we fucking move on to the next one. Love.